podcast. Been like a week or so, but I want to get back in here and update y'all on what's going on in sports, stocks, WWE for entertainment and stuff like that. I wanted to start off with football because, as you know, playoffs is right around the corner. We are currently in week 15. We had actually a pretty good game last night, man. Atlanta Falcons went ahead and played Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Atlanta was able to pull it off on the road after a monster game from Mike Evans and a monster game from Kyle Pitts Jr. on Atlanta. It was a back and forth type of game. I want to say Tampa Bay was up 14-28 going into the fourth quarter. Shout out to FanDuel for me getting my clutch win. I needed Godwin to get one more catch and Tyler Algier to get 12 more yards. They both got it in the fourth quarter. Won a little quick honey bun. But besides that, Tampa Bay was 7-6, and they needed this win because they want to stay atop of the NFC South. Because right now they got Carolina right there on their heels and stuff, and this set them back a game because they kind of let off on the gas. The offense was clicking all night, but the defense really wasn't there. It's the first half they was doing good. They just couldn't stop Kyle Pitts. He ended up coming away with 3 touchdowns. That's the first time a tight end had 150 plus yards and 3 total touchdowns since 1996 by Shannon Sharp. That's a great accomplishment. But usually, like you see a tight end getting busy like that, man, you got to double that dude. Somebody's not doing no work on the offense. You think about it, Drake London is out, so that really just leaves Bijan and Kyle Pitts, the main two that you could stop. Now, I can live with Robinson doing this thing, but I'm not going to let Kyle Pitts Jr. get 150 yards or 3 touchdowns. He had like about 8 catches or something like that. But they were able to come. Atlanta was able to pull off the win, and even though they're out the playoffs, they played spoiler. Now Tampa Bay is in a tough position because, like I said, Carolina is right there behind them. I want to say like Carolina's like a game behind them right now. But yeah, salute Atlanta pulled off the win 29-28. Now let's get into the rest of this one that we got going on this week. Um, damn, this is the wrong one. My bad. Let me get this. Let me get this right. Schedule. Um, it's been some good football, man. I wanna backtrack a little bit and speak on the Cleveland Tennessee game. I'll get to that in a second because I just want to speak on how the media is flipping it on Shador Sanders right now. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Shador Sanders, big fan of Cam Ward. I'm rocking with them young black dudes. It was a time in NFL history where they said all black quarterbacks was good for was running. They wasn't smart enough to know how to play the position. And look, now we got at least half of the league starting black quarterbacks. So that's a big accomplishment that I wanted to speak on. But let's get into this week's, and I'll just be brief about Shador. This week we got the 3-10 Cleveland Browns versus the Chicago Bears. They're 9-4. Bears are coming off a loss last week. I want to say they lost, and Cleveland lost. Now Cleveland played my team, the Tennessee Titans. We end up beating a game that we shouldn't win because we should be tanking out. We only had one win, and now we just picked up our second win, which was pointless. But I know some of them dudes want to steal ball, and if they feel like you a bad team as well, we might as well beat you to show, hey, we ain't the worst team in the league. I still believe we not the worst, but we the 30th worst. That's pretty much the third worst team in the league. So either way, we one of the worst teams in the league. We're just not the worst. Cleveland, as far as Cleveland go, when you look at Shador Sanders and that roster that they got over there, that tight end Fannin Jr. looked pretty good, and Joku ended up getting injured this game. Um, Jukins, the running back, they got another Sampson, another running back. Judy had a big catch and score. But outside that, when you look at that team, they really don't have no offensive threats. And the defense is solid. It's been playing at a high level all year, but the offense hasn't been able to produce points to win them the game, and that's what's lost them most of the games. This game right here, the media is going to tell you from not looking at the game that Shador Sanders lost this game because he didn't get a 2-point conversion the first time. Now, when you look at the game, you realize, well, Tony Pollard had 160 rushing yards. He had 2 touchdowns. They didn't score that. The offense didn't score on the offense. The offense scored on Cleveland's defense. The run game wasn't. The run defense wasn't there that game. Tony Pollard had a career game. It is what it is. But to say that Shador Sanders lost in the game is crazy to me. He threw for 364. If anything, he kept them in the game. And then when they did keep him in the game, they wait to the last play to go for the 2 point conversion, and they decide, let's take him out. Let's try a reverse wildcat run with the running back in and Shador on the bench, which was a dumb play. That's bad coaching. That's a bad play call. If he just walked you down here to get the touchdown, why not give him the opportunity to see what he could do in the clutch? You just seen him get a clutch touchdown. Why not see if he could get a clutch 2 point conversion? He missed it the first time. Why not give him the second opportunity? And to me, what I'm seeing what's going on is that clearly the GM, the coach are looking at Shador like, damn, we took him in the 5th round knowing damn well he had a potential to be either in the 1st round or the 3rd. We could have actually flip-flopped and took Dillon in the 5th and took Sanders in the 3rd. And that would have made him look better. But they're in a bad situation. Let me explain. They still have Deshaun Watson on board. He's owed 230 million. He got 230 million guaranteed dollars out of these cats. Next year, he's going to. They need to go ahead and start him. But right now, if you're going to have Shador playing for the remainder of the year, that tells me that Dylan Gabriel was a bad pick for you. But you're okay with him being a backup. But with Shador Sanders is he has potential to, if he plays great these last couple of games, we can trade him away and let him find a team that he can start for, which is very possible. It's a couple of teams out there he can start for, with the Saints being one of those teams. But it's just I don't like the way that the media is spinning this and trying to make Sanders look like he's really a 5th round pick. A 5th round pick doesn't come in a game and throw for 360 yards. I don't give a damn what team you play for. You can say, oh, they played the Titans, but if you go look at the passing stats from every quarterback this year that's played the Tennessee Titans, we are 2-11. Out of those 11 losses, you can look at all 11 of those quarterbacks and you can look and see that Shador Sanders was number 1 in passing. I'm talking about Drake May. We played Matt Stafford. We played C.J. Stroud. We played Trevor Lawrence. We played all these quarterbacks that are supposedly supposed to be better than Shador, and he outplayed all of them. So just give credit when credit's due. You don't have to hate your whole life. But as far as this game go, I think the Cleveland Browns will lose this game just because the Bears are hot right now. They're hot in Chicago. I think they keep it going because they need this win to stay in the playoff race as well. They're 9-4, so it looks like they're going to the playoffs. Next one, we got the Baltimore Ravens versus Cincinnati Bengals. I was rocking with the Bengals to win this one, but I just saw that they said T. Higgins will be out this week. That means it's going to be a lot of passes to Chase. I think they need a little bit more. Actually, I flipped it. No, it's kind of tough, man, because Baltimore just hasn't looked good all year. I know they're 6-7. They still got a chance to make it into the playoffs, but they just don't look good. I believe Joe Burrow can win them these type of games because they're playing a bad defense that really can't put too much pressure on him. I know last week they lost to Buffalo Bills. That's a contending team. The defense shit the bed. Burrow had a bad pick six and a bad interception, and he fumbled. So he had 3 turnovers that game. So that's on him, but that's also on the defense to allow 32 points to be given up so easily. So if I had to pick, I'm gonna say Baltimore wins this on the road because it's a much needed win, and I think it's gonna be a big. It's gonna hurt for Higgins not to be out there with Chase because when Chase and Higgins play, that's an easy win for the Bengals every time for the most part. Next game, we got some badass matches this week. It seemed like, well, it might get a little bit better. Arizona Cardinals 3-10 versus the Houston Texans. I got the Texans winning this one. Number 1 defense in the league. Excuse me. C.J. Stroud is back. He's looking good. The Cardinals really don't have nothing to play for. I know Brissett's been having a great year, but he's going to get a lot of pressure put on him this week with the number 1 defense coming to town. Will coming to Houston. So I got Houston winning that one. Jets versus the Jaguars. I hate to say it, but the Jaguars gonna win this when they 9-4, going on their 10th win right now, which is crazy. They don't even seem like they got a solid team, even with Travis Hunter being out. Brian Thomas missed some time; he's back now. They clicking on both sides of the field, man. So Jacksonville for the win. Next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers. Los Angeles Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are desperate. I believe that they pull off this win because they are 6-7. If they don't win this game, I don't believe they're going to make it. I don't think they're going to make it with 8 losses this year. The offense looks okay, but the defense has just been terrible outside of Jones. Um, Offense, Kelsey has just been a disappearing act. It's no run game for the most part outside of Kareem Hunt. Pachenko just runs like he's running in mud in place. He really don't do much. And Mahomes, like I said, it looked like Mahomes the only one out there trying to play, but everybody else is like tapping out. Like I thought with Hollywood Brown, Worthy, Rice, and Kelsey, 4 targets like that, they should be able to walk people down like the whole game, but it's just not been happening. So I'm gonna go with the chart. I'm rocking with the Chargers to win on the road, man. I'm not fucking with the Chiefs this year. Well, any year. Next game we got the Bills and the Patriots. This should be the game of the week for the 1 p.m. games. Buffalo is hot. The Patriots are hot. I believe the Patriots will win this game. Um, the defense is going to put pressure on Josh Allen, and once you slow down Josh Allen in that run, the run with James Cook, I don't think that Buffalo is going to be able to produce too many points, and I think Patriots will win this one. Next, we got the Washington Commanders versus the Giants. That's a barn burner. I think they said Jaden Daniels re-injured his elbow again, so he might be out. I'm not sure if they still got Winston starting, but if it's Winston starting, I'm rocking with Winston, man. That's my boy. And that defense is still good. They just can't pull off wins. The offense got to produce more points. I'm gonna go with the Giants to beat the Commanders. Raiders versus the Eagles. The Raiders will be without Geno Smith. He is out this week. They will be starting Kenny Pickett, a former Eagle, a former Pittsburgh Steeler. The Eagles are on a 3-game losing streak. This is a must win for them. I'm pretty sure they could beat the Raiders. The Raiders are 2-11. Um, Jalen Hurts just had one of the worst games in Philadelphia Eagles history. As I did my research on that, 5 turnovers. He had 4 interceptions and 1 fumble last week. This is coming off of the week a 2-game losing streak, and I say he just didn't look good, man. My thing with Jalen Hurts is that yes, with the short yardage, he can look good. He can throw a 5-yard pass to Barkley, and he can turn into an 80-yard run. But those yards go to the quarterback as well, so it's going to make him look good. But when it comes to throwing the ball deep, if it's not a blitz, like if outside of a blitz, he's not beating no other play. He getting zoned up. He can't stop the zone. Man to man, he's not throwing dudes open. Now AJ's been eating, but the defense has been getting ran on. The offense has looked just pathetic, man. Barkley had his best game this far this year. But outside of that, man, like I said, the Eagles offense looks terrible. I know most fans, and there's some fans that blame the offensive coordinator coach. Yes, that's part of the reason. But those players still have to play. The quarterback, if a play is called and the quarterback is told to throw the ball, if he's throwing turnovers, that's his fault. That's not the offensive coordinator. That's not the coach fault. It's the person that's throwing the damn ball fault. And that's been the issue with me with certain um, fans of the Philadelphia Eagles. They're still living off of last year. I don't know how, but most of them see like last year's team had something to prove with Saquon Barkley. He wanted to prove that the Giants made a mistake by releasing him. Now this year it's just like, all right, y'all, we just won the Super Bowl, but we just playing. We're gonna make the playoffs and we're gonna try to pull off something, but it just ain't been there, man. Um, when it comes to sports, make sure also if you comment on this video, if you want to talk sports with me, please before you even mention anything to me, remember that there are 3 parts to the football game. You have the coaching, you have offensive, you have defense. If you can't acknowledge all 3, then let's not talk about sports because some people just get stuck on certain parts of the game and forget that, like, hey, if you got a high power offense and that defense is trash, you can't blame the defense or the coach when the offense is doing bad. Like it just don't make no sense. The offense is going to be blamed on the quarterback. He's the head honcho. If he's throwing bad passes, that's his fault. That's nobody's fault but his. So I just want to say that. But as far as the game go, I got the Eagles winning this one. They should win this one easily and get their motivation back on how to win games because a 3-game losing streak is crazy after coming off a Super Bowl. Next game, 4 o'clock game is a damn. Okay, now we heating up. Packers 9-3-1 versus the Broncos 11-2. I'm going with the Packers, man. I'm so sick of the damn Broncos. I'm still having nightmares because week 1 we should have beat Denver. We had them dead to rights. We had them boys, man, and they found a way to beat us. We should have. I felt like that was a game that we should have won. And now looking at these dudes, 11-2, they the real deal, man. But the Packers starting to heat up. My only concern is Watson had a big game last year. I mean, last week. Can he stay consistent? That's what Jordan Love needs. He needs somebody he can throw the ball deep to. Um, Reed just came back. They got Romeo Dobbs. I know the tight end was it Kraft is still Tucker Kraft is out for the season. But with those 3 receivers, you should be able and Wicks, they got a couple receivers and Golden. With those receivers, you should be able to get these cats open and the offense should be high powered. The defense with Micah Parsons, uh, Gray, and or whatever else they got over there should be able to put pressure on them. I know that the cornerbacks and the safeties are suspect, but that front 7 should be able to put pressure on Bo Nix and make him throw bad passes. I'm going with Green Bay on the road, man. I just want to see Green Bay make the playoffs and go on a run. Next, we got the Detroit Lions 8-5 versus the Rams 10-3. That's my prediction right now. Is the Rams will make it to the Super Bowl. They just look like the best team in the league to me. Even though they got 3 losses, they look good still to me. They're the most complete team. A young defense that balls out, offense that's balling with a vet quarterback that's won the Super Bowl already. And right now is leading in the MVP race. I think him and Drake May are 1-2 right now. I'm going with the Rams to win just because I want to see them go for have a deep run this year. Panthers 7-6 versus the Saints 3-10. I'm gonna go with the Panthers because I wanted to come down the Panthers and the Buccaneers last game to dictate who's going to win that NFC South. So I'm rocking with the Panthers. Next, we got the Colts versus the Seahawks. Mm-mm-mm. Indianapolis Colts have just lost Daniel Jones for the year. He tore his Achilles on his right leg. That was the opposite of the leg that he just had an injury with. Um, the news is that they signed Phillip Rivers. Not a 35-year-old Phillip Rivers, a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers just got off the couch that looks to me out of shape. Like he looked like he weighed like 300 pounds. He ain't been missing no meals. The boy got 10 kids. So the way I took it is that, hey, we signed him. He looked at like, hell yeah, I'll come off the couch and play because I got kids, man. I'm trying to make this extra chicken for them. So I understand it. But I understood what, if you haven't been following the news, I heard what Cam Newton said. I listened to 4th and 1, salute to Cam Newton and everything he got going on. And he was pretty much saying like how he felt disrespected because the way he talks about sports, you can look at him and tell he's still in shape, that he's still active. Why wouldn't he get a call? And it makes sense because to me, Cam Newton to the NFL is like I feel like he's blackballed. They look at him as like he's a cancer in the locker room. That he's just bad juju. He don't want to be a team player and all this shit, which is far from true to me from what I've seen. He just wants to win. If you don't want to win, he don't want you out there. I believe with an offense that the Colts have right now, Cam could do his thing with them. With him being a big mobile quarterback as well, if you put too much focus on him, Jonathan Taylor will run for 100, 200 yards every damn game. But that's not the Indianapolis Colts way. I've been living here in Indiana for 10 years now. What I've noticed is that after Peyton Manning left and they had Andrew Luck, once Andrew Luck was gone, they start going after these old ass quarterbacks that was on their last leg. Insert Matt Ryan, insert Phillip Rivers. Now this year they got a little bit younger and went after Daniel Jones. You get the trend here. They go for older quarterbacks in the league that's pretty much on their last leg. They don't want a Cam Newton to come in and be too like a cocky quarterback. They don't want that. Even though they must have forgot Phillip Rivers is a cocky ass dude. But as far as the game go, man, Seattle has been on a roll, on a tear right now. I believe that they'll win this game. I just can't see Phillip Rivers coming off the couch and leading the coach to a win. And they got a tough schedule. They might end up losing out. They might win one out of the four, but I can see them losing all four games and lose out. Um, I got Seattle winning that game. Next, we have the Tennessee Titans versus the 49ers. This, even though we 2-11, this is a game we can win because I feel like we put pressure on Brock Purdy and make it difficult for him and only have McCaffrey to worry about. We could pull off a close game, but we have to produce points. The 49ers defense, excuse me, it's decent. I think we could put up points on them. But again, we're in San Francisco. Most likely we won't win that game. So I'm going to go 49ers to win this one. Sunday night game, we got the Minnesota Vikings versus the Cowboys, 6-1. Vikings are 5-8. I got the Cowboys winning this game just because J.J. McCarthy is one of the worst quarterbacks I've seen in my life. He just doesn't fit the NFL script. I don't think he's a good quarterback. That's not knocking him because he made it to the NFL. He just don't fit the script for me. So I'm going to go Cowboys to win that one. CD and Pickett should have a big game. And Monday night game, we got the Miami Dolphins 6-7 versus the Pittsburgh Steelers 7-6. I got Pittsburgh winning this game. Even though TJ Watt is out, I think Miami could take advantage of that situation. Not having pressure put on Tua too much, but it's in Pittsburgh. I could see Tua having a bad game just because he has bad games on the road. That's all I got for football this week, man. Make sure y'all tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Mechee from the Midwest Podcast for your latest NFL updates. Week 15 is here, y'all. Playoff is right around the corner. Let me know in the comments what your team did this year so far. Do you think your team will make the playoffs? If not, what do you expect from your team going in next year?